Valentine's Day takes place every year on February 14th. In the United States and other places around the world, candy, flowers and gifts are exchanged between sweethearts, all in the name of Saint Valentine. But who is this mysterious saint and where do these traditions come from? Learn more about the meaning and history of Valentine's Day, from the ancient Roman ritual of Lupercalia, which welcomes spring, to the customs of handing out cards in Victorian England. What is the true origin of the Saint Valentine legend? The Catholic Church knows at least 3 different saints named Valentine or Valentinus, all of whom suffered martyrdom. One legend says that Valentinus was a priest who served in Rome in the 3rd century. When Emperor Claudius II decided that single men were better soldiers than those with wives and families, he forbade marriage for young men. Valentine recognized the injustice of the decree and defied Claudius by continuing to secretly perform marriages for young lovers. When Valentine's actions were discovered, Claudius ordered him killed. Others insist that Saint Valentine of Terni, a bishop, was the true namesake of the vacation. He too was beheaded by Claudius II at the gates of Rome. Other stories say that Valentine was killed because he tried to free Christians from the harsh Roman prisons where they were often beaten and tortured. One legend says that an imprisoned Valentine sent the first Valentine himself after he fell in love with a young girl, possibly the daughter of his jailer, who visited him during his imprisonment. Before his death, he's said to have written her a letter signed from your Valentine, an expression still in use today. Although the veracity of Valentine's legends is unclear, all the stories underscore his appeal as a sympathetic, heroic and, above all, romantic figure. In the Middle Ages, perhaps thanks to this reputation, Valentine became one of the most popular saints in England and France. The origin of Valentine's Day, a pagan festival that takes place in February. Some believe that Valentine's Day is celebrated in mid-February to commemorate the anniversary of Valentine's death or burial, which is said to have occurred around 270 AD. However, others believe that the Christian Church placed Valentine's Day at this time to Christianize the pagan festival of Lupercalia. This festival, held on February 15th, honored Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, and Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome, and was believed to promote fertility. The Lupercalia festival began with members of the Luperci, a group of Roman priests, gathering at a sacred cave where the founders of Rome, Romulus, and Remus, were said to have been raised by a she-wolf. The priests sacrificed a goat for fertility and a dog for purification. Then they took the goat's skin and dipped it in the blood of the sacrifice. This wasn't considered negative, but was believed to make women more fertile in the coming year. Later in the day, according to legend, all the single women in town inscribed their names in a large urn. Eligible bachelors then picked a name and were paired with the chosen woman for the year, often resulting in marriage. Meaning of Valentine's Day. The Lupercalia festival continued to be celebrated despite the rise of Christianity, but it was eventually banned at the end of the 5th century as it was considered unchristian when Pope Gelasius declared February 14th as Valentine's Day. Only later did the day become firmly associated with love. In the Middle Ages, it was believed in France and England that February 14th marked the beginning of the mating season for birds, which contributed to the idea that Valentine's Day should be a day for romantic celebration. The first known reference to Valentine's Day as a day of romantic celebration is found in Geoffrey Chaucer's 1375 poem Parliament of Foules, in which he writes, "For this was set on St. Valentine's Day, when every fowl cometh there to choose his mate." Valentine's Day greetings have been popular since the Middle Ages, but written Valentine's Day greetings didn't appear until after 1400. The oldest known Valentine's Day greeting in existence today is a poem Charles, Duke of Orleans, wrote to his wife in 1415 while imprisoned in the Tower of London after the Battle of Agincourt. This greeting is now part of the manuscript collection of the British Library in London. It's believed that King Henry V later commissioned a writer named John Lydgate to write a Valentine to Catherine of Valois. Cupid. In mythology, Cupid is often depicted as mischievous and playful, using his arrows to make people fall in love. Cupid is also said to have the power to tear people out of love by shooting them with an arrow dipped in a potion that makes them forget their former love. Sometimes he's depicted blindfolded to emphasize his role as an impartial and fickle force of love. His origin is in Greek mythology as Eros, the Greek god of love. Stories about his birth vary. Some say he's the son of Nyx and Erebus, others claim he's the child of Aphrodite and Ares, and still others claim he's the offspring of Iris and Zephyrus or even Aphrodite and Zeus. Cupid's depiction as a naked cherub with wings and a bow and arrow is a common image in art and literature, symbolizing the idea of love and desire. On Valentine's Day cards and other romantic images, he's often depicted as a playful, mischievous figure who brings people together with their arrows of love. Greetings and cards. Valentine's Day is celebrated not only in the United States, but also in many other countries such as Canada, Mexico, Great Britain, France, and Australia. In Great Britain, it became more popular in the 17th century. In the mid-1800s, it was common for people of all walks of life to exchange tokens of affection or handwritten notes with friends and lovers. Around 1900, however, printed cards became more popular thanks to advances in printing technology, as they offered an easier way to express feelings at a time when expressing them was undesirable. Lower postage costs also contributed to the growing popularity of sending Valentine's Day greetings. It's believed that Americans began exchanging handmade Valentine's Day cards in the early 1700s. In the 1840s, Esther A. Howland began selling the first mass-produced Valentine's Day cards in America. She became known as the Mother of Valentine because she created elaborate designs using real lace, ribbons and colorful pictures called scrap. Today, about 145 million Valentine's Day cards are mailed each year. That makes Valentine's Day the second largest vacation on which cards are sent, after Christmas, according to the Greeting Card Association.